Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Let's talk about the latest news and the latest transfer news most importantly. And let's start with our search for a striker. So last night there was some breaking news in terms of Arsenal making a bid for a striker. In yesterday's video, we talked about the likes of Ivan Toney and those guys. And then literally a couple of hours later, there was news about Arsenal bidding to a striker. So here was the news from yesterday. Arsenal have made a 22 million bid for Getafe striker Borja Mayoral, but Getafe have knocked back the initial offer as they hold out for closer to that 9 million for their star striker. Mayoral has been followed closely by Arsenal since November after scoring 12 league goals for Getafe so far this time. So before we come to the actual transfer and the stats and how good he is or how bad he is and all that, let's talk about like how we usually approach transfer windows. Sometimes we do sign players that we've been linked to for a long time. Like, let's say Declan Rice, like we knew, like we have been linked to him like since like the previous year, and we started hearing about us potentially signing him in April, and then we finally got it down in July. And then there's links like for Mudryk that carry on for a long time. There's others even like Vlahovic that carry on for like 2 years. But there's some that usually come out of nowhere, like Fabio Vieira. We just heard that he's coming for a medical. Tomias on the deadline day that year, he was coming for a medical right away. And then even Trossard and Jorginho, it was last minute. We are getting Trossard from Brighton. It was very quickly. So maybe we are not going to hear about links to a striker, but maybe they are actually cooking something behind the scenes. And it looks like they are because Borja Mayoral has been linked to Arsenal. So how good has he been so far this season? As I said, he scored 12 goals so far this season. I'm pretty sure I've seen some of that 4 of them are penalties. So 8 open play goals, let's say. Don't quote me on that one, but I'm sure I've seen some of that. He scored 4 of them are penalties. But 12 goals in 10 matches, even if 4 of them are penalties, it means 8 goals in 10 matches, not bad at all. He's only behind Bellingham in terms of scoring. He's also level on goals with Morata. Morata has been incredible this season, but I've been watching him a lot, and he's been great. And to be like in that category, the likes of Griezmann, he's been doing really, really great. And if you take a look at there's one thing I also like taking a look at these days, because our strikers do get chances. So if you can look at that, in terms of goals, he has 12 goals, and then he also has 1 assist. He's played 19 games in the league. Goals per 90, 0.71. And then what I'm really focused on is the right side, the shot accuracy in the goal conversion, 44% in terms of goal conversion and 78% in terms of shot accuracy, and that is the best out of all of those players. So in terms of shot accuracy, he's beating Morata, Bellingham, Griezmann. In terms of goal conversion, he's beating the likes of Bellingham and the likes of Morata and Griezmann, and also Artem Dovbyk, which Girona have been doing really good as well this season. So his shot conversion is really good, and that is exactly what you want right now, because our strikers are getting chances. Nketiah is getting chances, Jesus is getting chances, Havertz is getting chances, Trossard is getting chances, but we're just not putting it in the back of the net. So for someone like Borja Mayoral, that would be a great sign. The first time I heard that we are potentially going to sign a striker from Getafe, I was like, oh, is it Greenwood or something like that? But no, it is Mayoral. So the last few times we signed a striker from the main one was Lucas Perez, and it did not work out. He had absolutely blown away the La Liga, but he came to Arsenal and basically froze. But hopefully if we end up getting this one, it would be a different kind of signing. But we have to talk about the money as well. So according to reports, Arsenal made a 22 million bid for Getafe striker, but they want up to 39 million. 39 million is a lot of money now. I mean, it's cheaper in terms of strikers, because right now strikers are going for 100 million plus. So if you get a striker who's actually part of the top scorers list in Spain and you can get him for that cheap, that would be absolutely great. So I've heard about him before. I've not seen him playing a lot of times. I watched Getafe last week, but I was not like watching it keenly, knowing that we are going to be linked to a player there. If I knew, maybe I'd have been watching it keenly. But listen, this is what you need to do right now. You need to get players that are coming out of nowhere. Maybe not the big names. It's going to be hard to get Osimhen, Tony, Boniface, all those guys that everyone knows. You're going to have to get players like this, or maybe a Guirassy from Stuttgart. Players are going to be slightly cheaper. I don't know if you have to go to that 39 million, if we can actually end up getting him. But again, these days transfer windows are approached differently. You can pay in installments. You can, it depends on how you structure the deal. Because one thing is for sure, we definitely need a striker this this January, and I'm hoping that we can get it done. And I think even you don't even have to know a striker, because I've seen a lot of people asking, who is this? We don't really have to know these players. When Tomias came to us, we didn't really know about him, and players like that. You can get players who are really good even if you don't know about him, as long as he's doing good in his league and he fits into our system, whichever way whatever they've seen in him, because apparently they've been watching him for the last couple of months. Let's see how this one develops. But as of now, the bid has been rejected. We're going to have to add more money. And then obviously in terms of accuracy, I don't know how accurate the story is, but a lot of outlets have reported it. So let's see. Let's wait and see what happens with that one. Good news on the striker front. Gabriel Jesus is back, according to news and reports. Some more good news for Arsenal as Gabriel Jesus returned. It has now been revealed. The Brazilian missed the FA Cup clash against Liverpool last week with a knock to his knee. The good news is the injury is believed to be minor, and Gabriel Jesus is expected to return after the trip to Dubai. So, luckily, Gabriel Jesus will be back, because the next 4 months are very crucial to us. Crystal Palace, Nottingham, Liverpool, and then the Champions League returns. And I'm pretty sure Gabriel Jesus has been our best player in the Champions League so far this season. It's just because he missed the other games with injuries. He would have actually scored in every one of those 6 games. The 4 that he played, he scored in all of them. Some great goals against Sevilla and against Lens, quality. So in the Champions League, you need players like Jesus to return, and we need him in the team. And if he's there and you have the likes of Trossard as well, at least we have different options. If Jesus is not there, I think we get hurt a lot. Now, I know he doesn't score that many goals, but in terms of what he brings to the team, and even as I said, even in the Champions League, he scored a lot of goals. And in the Premier League, he hasn't scored a lot of goals, but if you see the goals that we score, he will get involved in the goal, whether it's the assist or the pre-assist, or does everything to get the goal. He's going to be there. I was disappointed when he missed those chances against West Ham, but we still need him in the team. He can play on the wing as well. He can allow players like Saka to get a rest and players like Martinelli to get a rest. I feel like he brings the likes of Martinelli back in the game a lot. Like Martinelli, Jesus, Saka, Jesus, Odegaard, Jesus, I think they get along well in terms of on the pitch. If Jesus is not there, I feel like I don't know about the understanding between Havertz and Odegaard yet, or Martinelli and Nketiah yet, but Jesus he's been at Arsenal for 5 years with those players, so he's a player that you really need at Arsenal. What about Eddie Nketiah? What's the latest on him? Well, according to reports from Ben Jacobs, the valuation of Nketiah is relatively transparent, talking to sources something in the region of 35 million, but it's not just about money. Nketiah is still a part of Arsenal's plans, despite the fact Crystal Palace and a few other clubs are looking at him. So listen, I don't think you're going to sell Nketiah, especially if you don't get a striker. I don't think he's going to go. Even if you get a striker, I really doubt he's going to go. And to me, it looks like he does at least want to stay until the end of the season. That it's not like he's pushing for a move away. Yes, he wants game time, but I don't really think he wants to move right now. And I also don't think Atta wants to move him on right now. Personally, I also didn't want to move him on. I wanted a striker, and then Nketiah is the third striker from that. But that was before we went out of the FA Cup, and so right now he's not going to get a lot of game time. You're only in 2 competitions. So, and on top of that, as I said yesterday, if he's the only one that can get us money, then you definitely sell. But I would prefer to get a striker first and then sell him. But in the situation that we are, is we have to kind of sell him and then get a striker first. Get a striker second. Let's see what happens with that as well. But there's several teams that want him, and if you can get that 35 million, that's good money. If you get that, basically that can get you that Mayoral guy from Getafe. That exact money. If you sell Nketiah and you get the other one, you can do it. But I don't think Atta sees this as like a direct replacement. I think he just wants a striker to come and help out Nketiah and Jesus. So let's see how that one develops as well. But that's the latest on the striker situation. Let's see if you're going to get the Getafe guy. Jesus is back. That's great news. And let's see what happens with Eddie Nketiah. What's the latest on our midfield situation with Andre become like Don Robbie, not Andre. No. We are not going to sign Andre Onana. We are not going to sign Andre Onana. That guy, we've watched him so many times this season. His name is stuck in my head. Amadou Onana. Sean Dyche has been talking about him. He said Sean Dyche's side understood to be determined to resist Arsenal's interest in Amadou Onana, but would like to enforce their midfield options, although they would only be able to sanction a loan move given the club's financial issues. So the interest in Onana continues, according to Jacob Steinberg, but I mean, Everton, yes, Everton in a predicament as well. There were the points are taken away from them, and they're currently like 17th on the table, so they're in a self situation as well. And selling players like Onana would be bad for them. I don't see how it benefits them. But for Onana to move to Arsenal, that's a great move for him, I guess, and that would be a great move for us. But since there's one thing that makes me think like this might not go through, and that is the news that we talked about yesterday on Thomas Partey from John Cross with the Mirror. Thomas Partey could give Arsenal a major boost by returning before the end of January, and he could be back for the Nottingham Forest game on January 30th. So if Partey returns, are we really going to sign Onana? I really doubt. Now, obviously, you can't depend on Thomas Partey. You can't just throw all your eggs in that basket and say Thomas Partey's back. You're not going to sign anyone. He could play the Nottingham Forest game and then he's injured the next week. And then what happens? Because the transfer window will be closed again. And from that point on, you're going to really have to depend on Jorginho and Rice to stay fit until the end of the season. So even with Partey back, I would still love like someone like an Onana, maybe not as a permanent signing. Even a loan deal would benefit us a lot. But since Partey is almost back, and I don't think he's going to play every single game, I think they'll try and manage his minutes. I can't see this another one going through. But again, this is one to wait for. I'd not be surprised if we don't sign any of these players and we just see about 2 players from nowhere. But someone like Onana, we've talked about him before. He's not like in terms of what you're completely looking for in terms of Arsenal quality, but I think he's on that next level, that Premier League experience, that, that energy and drive and that force and that power in midfield. I think he can help out Rice and Partey. Is he going to join? I don't know. So let's wait and see on that one as well. But that's the latest on our midfield situation and our striker situation. The January transfer window is never easy to get deals done. There's a time we didn't sign anyone. I think 2 years ago. Last year we got Jorginho and Trossard very late on. The previous season, I mean, the best transfer win in terms of January is maybe 2018 when he got Aubameyang and Nketiah and those guys. But usually the January transfer window is very quiet. You obviously talked about Jeremy Frimpong yesterday. That is also news that we're waiting to see how that one develops. But this one looks like it's going to be one for the summer and not for right now. But Solanke one, it could be over. I don't think Bournemouth are going to sell Antonio one as well. Once again, we have to wait and see. But really, really tough. The dream of getting a player before the Crystal Palace game might be unlikely. We might have to wait very, very late on the window again. Because I think we're going to play Crystal Palace and then you're going to have like another 10-day break before we play Nottingham Forest, because they're not in the FA Cup 4th round. So we're only playing 2 more games this month, and we have another 20 days this month. So within 3 weeks, we're going to only play 2 games. A lot of time to rest, a lot of time to train, a lot of time to get transfers done. But let me know what you make about all that. Jesus returning, Partey returning, Nketiah 35 million. Would you take that? Would you sell Nketiah without even getting a striker? What would you do? Would you just sell him if Crystal Palace say right now we have 35 million from Nketiah and we're not going to sign any striker? Would you just sell him and save that money for the end of the season, or what would you do? Is it a case of if you're not going to get a striker, just keep Nketiah? Let me know what you think about that. And Onana, do you think we still need Onana if Thomas Partey is back? Let me know. As of now, thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.